Hello, this is HighZealot here, and welcome to E4 of Operation L/MI. So this is the second map midway, and showing the fleet I'm using. Yes, 4 carriers, 2 BBs it's actually if you take the north route, it's more likely to be sent to a dead end, but because of my second fleet contains 4 destroyers, supposedly I should also be sent south a few times, which is, it is correct. And so this is my first sortie into E4, and I'll say this: E4 is still, midway in general. Is probably generally easy compared to the other event maps, but there's RNG factors relating to the compass specifically and submarines. But for the most part, these air nodes are easy as always. You just have enough air superiority, and you pretty much have no problem. In fact, E4, it's actually pretty easy to get air superiority even on the boss for the final actual sinking of the boss. Unlike E3 and E5, assuming the wiki is correct about how much is required to get air superiority. Yeah, things are going well. First sortie is pretty much what you expect. With 4 destroyers, you're guaranteed to go to for your first node. You're generally guaranteed to go to the bottom one instead of the top one. But from there, it's completely random as far as I know. So you'll see in a moment, though, once I go through this experience gain. Once I spin the compass, that is. You'll see where I go. So first, compass roll, we go south, which is, by all means, I consider it, probably everyone will consider it, the easier route. But it's still, you can either get really lucky and get sent south a lot, or you can get really unlucky and get sent north a lot. Or you can even get unlucky and then get either red in their pre-boss node. But it's still, by all means, it's luck. It's still many factors of luck, but the south node, generally 90–80% chance to make it the boss. North route, well, you're gonna wanna not use 4 carriers and 2 battleships probably. Otherwise you get sent to a dead end even if you survive the subs. And generally north is just not a fun place to be. Not fun at all. At least in my opinion, because I'm kind of stubborn and I don't want to switch my fleet out. Because I really don't have any. I don't really have any more light carriers. I guess I do have 1 light carrier that is probably high enough level, but I don't want to sacrifice any air superiority because light carriers, they obviously cannot carry as much fighters, which means air superiority might be harder. But yeah, that node is related to line of sight. Total line of sight, I would say anyways, it's like 460. Equipment line of sight is like 130 approximately. This is day 8, so I'm actually recording this commentary a few later, so my numbers could actually be wrong. So you did see my equipment, so you could theoretically calculate it yourself. Second fleet's total line of sight is probably higher than 100, between 200 and 300 probably. Equipment line of sight is probably 90 something, because they're still heavily stacked with radar, and they also have and the battleship here. Yeah, battleship could potentially one-shot like a destroyer to red, though the chances of that is generally low. I mean, especially since the second fleet doesn't have to deal with 2 attacks from the battleship, which makes it a lot safer than 5-2's battle node of the battleship, which can always ruin the potential delicious rank. And yeah, of course there is something that makes this some chance to make this really horrible. If you get green T, you cross their T, it's generally horrible, because you know that increased damage for both sides. It's a big problem because that means the battleship can one-shot anyone. Carriers, battleships, you name it. The battleship will one-shot it because, you know, she can. Of course, that battleship is also, you can also potentially one-shot the battleship before it even gets a chance to attack, but that's not the most likeliest thing to happen. Green teas in general, you know, feels, wouldn't mind it being more. I guess if it was, you know, historically, I mean, green teas pretty much like your guns can all, you know, have a maximum like broadside, like your broadside can attack their fleet while, you know, it's like, how can I describe this? It's like the T, I guess you're the thing on top of the T, and they're the, you know, thing on the bottom, that like just one that faces up, you face the side, and the actual the letter T, and because of that, your broadside can have full, you know, just fire all your broadside guns while their guns can't, and because of that, you know, you can, you know, your attacks are stronger while their attacks are not. But if they did something like that in game, I can understand why they can't. They have just increased damage for both sides. But then in game, then I mean, otherwise, you want to afford red teas always, and since it's so easy to not get a red tea, it's pretty much, I guess, you know, I guess then again, but yeah, I can understand why they won't. They do it like this, because otherwise, I can really see, you know, green teas being too powerful. When green teas are horrible to deal with, but at the same time, you know, otherwise they're either gonna be, you know, horrible, or, you know, they're gonna be OP. And you know the devs, they don't want to. They do their best to make us suffer. We're like all Massachusetts and stuff. Between 86. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting equipment though that you know, lets us afford a green tea. So you know, you get the standard, the two potential ones left. One of them is 100% damage, one is still slightly less damage. Generally 100% is good. Of course, it'd be also nice if you could control which tea you get. But yeah, but once you get to that level of control, you know, yeah, it's probably too much power to the players. You know, players need to suffer. And being able to control if we get green or red tea, that's like, you know, that's making it too easy for us. We need to suffer, according to the devs and according to probably most people. I mean, you know, it's the suffering that probably, you know, keeps us in the game. The sheer desire to go through hell and back to hell and back. That, you know, that may be one of the key factors to, you know, keeping us in this. Reason why we still play this. To hell and back to hell and back. So we killed the boss once, we made the boss again. So yeah, 2 times self route. So at this, and you know, for the most part, I actually go to self route. Like I think 3 times, like for the most earlier ones, I get self route a lot. Then you know, here I am thinking. It seems like I'm thinking, since overall, you see over the course of this entire period, I went to the self route quite a number of times. Because of that, I'm thinking maybe this 4 destroyers actually increases the chance of the self route quite significantly. Okay, at one point I was even, before I actually went north, thinking maybe it's even guaranteed, but it's not, it's RNG. So I was thinking, self-route, high chance, surely. But you know, later start going north lots and lots of times, and it starts feeling like, yep, it's complete RNG. And yeah, north route, well, you can either try dealing with it, or you can take the easy way out, which is, you know, press F5. Not formation 5, you go hit the refresh button. For the most part, this boss, midway, I mean, she wasn't much of a threat, even when she was trying to defend the York. I'm not gonna say the Yorktown, I'm just gonna. The carrier princess, you know, she couldn't really defend her. She's, you know, generally easy to beat. She gets attacked by dive bomber and torpedo bombers, which is strange actually how this works. I mean, The opening aerospace, I've seen her get hit by torpedoes. Yes, she can't get hit by torpedoes, but she can also get hit by torpedo bombers. She can't get hit by dive bombers, but it's kind of strange, you know? Why does she get hit by torpedoes in the opening phase? She's supposed to be immune to torpedoes completely. Which is, you know, it's really strange and it's confusing. Makes not much sense. You think, is it intended? So as you can see, pretty much Tone, it's practically the only one who can't even damage. Well, she damages for a lot though. But yeah, if you have like, if you can, you know, I would recommend this. Don't go with the same fleet I did. South route is nice. North route, you want North route to be something you can do. You want to be able to bring 2 heavy cruisers on your second fleet. And it feels, I haven't tried any other fleet, but it seems like it's the 4 destroyers that you know give a chance to go south. But you also want to have so you're gonna want something like, in case you do go north, you want to put like a light carrier in your first fleet, so you don't get sent to the dead end to survive the sub node. So you can have 2 heavy cruisers, which makes killing the boss a lot more easier. Generally, I do still do pretty well for the earlier parts. For the most part, I say. Yeah, just open the airface as always. So yeah. No problem. Cause yeah, with 1 heavy cruiser, you just have to get 1 unlucky, like, boss targeting your heavy cruiser. If you get like that unlucky, I mean, it's probably higher than 1 out of 6 chance, cause I'm fairly sure they're less likely to attack the flagship, or flagship protection may activate. Hence why, it's 1 out of 6 is not. It's higher chance than 1 out of 6 that she'll get attacked. So you wanna have your heavy cruiser. You wanna have more than 1 heavy cruiser probably, because otherwise the heavy cruiser gets put in red. Well then, what can it do? It's always annoying when it puts carrier into orange though, because I mean she can attack us. Carriers, they still do significant amount of damage to the boss if they hit, that is. Because accuracy tends to be a problem. Maybe those 46cm, 41cm cans, maybe they are affecting accuracy. Then again, and carriers, well, they never felt like they had a lot of accuracy in the first place. But for the most part, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I mean, if that was the case, then you would think those 10cm guns would, they would hit. They do scratch damage, but they think they would hit more than they miss. Because it does feel like these bosses, tends to be a range around like your voices. It's always either tends to be a lot of misses. See, she missed half her double attack. So I'm fairly sure like your destroyer guns, they're all the same accuracy. Like you use any maybe main guns have better accuracy or something. Maybe they have better damage. In fact, maybe I mean there must be a reason why you would use main guns over 10cm guns. Surely, maybe I could have tried that. I just like 10cm guns because I get to seem like they move forward, slide out to shoot down aircraft. Even though they probably don't shoot down a lot. It's just nice to see it happen. It's just nice to see it happen, And Kaga. I do have a Kaga. She's been saved for E6. Yeah, this is the time I get sent north. So this is the first time going north. At this point I was thinking, oh, what do you know? No, it's not 100% chance to go south. Let's see. And then I'm thinking, because I was kind of hesitating on picking the anti-submarine note because I've seen other people say that that you shouldn't pick that But you shouldn't pick the anti-submarine formation because you're probably not going to sink the submarine. You should probably go for more survivability. Which if I still not sure. I mean, I guess the equivalent of line ahead would probably be good for survivability, because you know other people generally have survivability problems when they go line ahead against like stuff they want to survive, and they just go double line. But for me, it always felt like line ahead always they went into orange more than they did red. Other people have other things, and I got lucky here. They are echelon, so their torpedo accuracy is lower. They shouldn't hit a lot theoretically. It's still a troll node, sub nodes in general, because even if they have low accuracy, if they hit, they still do quite a bit of damage potentially. We saw with Sendai that it's still potentially not a lot of damage. Here I was thinking 4 carriers. One I think sent north, but no, this time I got sent there. I'm fairly sure I got lucky there. Fairly sure it's still high chance to get sent to the dead end. It's a line of sight to go there. So yeah, the problem here is the sub node. But it also means that you get sent here. I've had people report that they sometimes don't go straight to the boss and they go to the battleship node, which is a problem because it uses more fuel and ammo. But otherwise, the sub node, I think it may not take any ammo. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But there may be some advantages to going up there, just not a lot. Oh yeah, but I did think I hadn't ended up with like more air superiority than I did in the south route. Like my air superiority number was higher than it was when it reached the emboss than it was otherwise. Yeah, having 10 secondary cannons, but the green guns, they don't seem to shoot down a lot of planes, but it's always nice to see them, slide out. It doesn't do much, but it's the aesthetic. Just seeing them slide out for some reason entertains me for probably I don't know why. So here I'm here because I know that I might get to the battleship. No, but yeah, I go to the boss. He says because I had the royal compass, as you saw there. But when I fought the battleship node, I don't roll a compass. I automatically get to the boss. Midway Island. Midway Heem, the Midway. Just bombing Midway. Like we always do, we're always bombing stuff. Still not looking forward to E6. I'm gonna have to probably do E5 barely. Quickly, I mean, look, you see this, see that says day 9, right? Yes, it doesn't change. I finished this in day 9. The problem is, I feel like I may not have a lot of time approaching the final days of the event, so it doesn't matter the event's gonna be. It doesn't matter if it's 20 days in total if I don't have 20 days to spare, I mean, theoretically, I should have a lot of resources left for E6. I mean, I don't. Okay, I'll manage to spoil for how much resources I have. At the moment, I haven't done E5 yet, but right now I still have like 140k fuel, but tons of ammo, like 1900, 180, 190. Steel is 160, bauxite is 100k. Bauxite doesn't really matter. Bucks is still above 800. I mean, theoretically, if I do well in E5, I should have more than enough resources, and if I do finish E5 quickly, I can still use up all my fuel. If I have natural regen, I still have days left over to just, natural regen, natural or expeditions to regain buckets if necessary. Which is, why, I guess it's one of the prime reasons why I want to get E5 done quickly and get started on E6, because I want to use those resources. Because in a way, okay, this one, yeah, it was a green tea. I kind of was expecting this to happen on the second fleet though. When I survived, the second fleet survived, I was thinking, oh, I must have done it. Nope. But yeah, I can, think about it. If I'm gonna go to natural region on eventually, like if I'm gonna use up that much resource eventually, I'd rather try to use them up, If you want to, get to E6 quickly so I can use those resources quickly so I have the natural region, because, in a way, every minute, every hour you're not in natural region, you're kind of losing resources in a way. In a way, of course. Just in a way. Tones in orange, which is, still a problem. Those damn destroyers are goddamn tough. The good news is, since the torpedoes usually, for the most part, can at least cripple the useless enemies. I mean the enemies you don't want your main fleet to attack. It would also be nice if double attack proc more often. I mean that's I got air superiority for a reason. I mean when it does proc, they still do a lot of damage. If it procs and you get double crits, they can do 220 damage. Let's say you got 4 double attacks in a row on your battleships and they all do 60 damage. Let's see, 120 from one, then that becomes 240. 240 from that full bash. I said 4 double attacks, so 240 times 2. 240 times 2, that's 480 damage. That's a lot of damn damage. Let's say your carriers also hit, because also the midway, the boss can't engage. She won't be able to attack while she's in orange or worse. So that would be knocking in the orange quickly would be also good. Potentially, you can do that. Your second fleet can also potentially do a lot of similar damage in the day, because we still did some damage in the day. Oh yeah, so you can do a lot of damage. Sub-node. Tones get one-shotted practically. Sub-nodes. Ha. Here's the boss again though. Sorry T8, we're more than halfway there. It requires 10 kills. At one point I remember reading someone that said after the 9th kill you have like just barely any HP left, so I was thinking, it's like 9.1 kills. So I was thinking, even though I do slash damage one time, I was thinking, if on the 9th kill you're left with like barely anything left, it's probably like, I'm thinking that must mean that you need 9.1 kills. So I was thinking if you end up doing even if you don't sink the boss one time, it must be good, right? I feel like that's not how it works. You see it later, but it feels like it might more be like, it doesn't matter how much HP it has left. Even if you have 0.99 kills left, if it didn't transfer this to its final form, you won't be able to sink it no matter what. That or I could have also miscounted, which would suck, because that would have meant rage for no good reason, I guess. We're speaking about stuff you haven't seen yet, but yeah. Yeah, you can see we do quite a number of damage. Carriers can't even hit an island. They are trying to use torpedo bombers on land. I'm still not sure how that works, but it does. See, my carriers, they can still do maybe 50 damage, potentially. So yeah, just killing the boss. What did I kill? Simple enough. Yasen. Meanwhile, players. Yeah, we can see how much damage this does. Sundai can push and do a bit of damage herself. But she, for the most part, I mean, she does do more damage than the destroyers ever seem to do. Like, ever. 11. 23, 10. You know, see? Not a lot of damage at all. Tone, however, you know, capable of sinking the boss, can do like 200 damage, you know, on average, I guess. But if you get lucky, can potentially do even more than that. Or if you get unlucky, you'll see later what happens if you get unlucky. And I'll drop here. Takes about the low, so I assume it's new. And what do I get? Someone who gets a heart lock. It probably remains at level 1. But you know, this event has taught me to, I want to take a break after this event, just stockpile, because stockpile for the fall event as we all assume it will be coming. At the same time, you also would want to, level up, because the devs already showed that they can show they're willing to lock the ships into 3 different hard maps, or groups of maps, I guess is the proper way to say it. And I mean, once the players know that now, so the devs are probably looking at how can they make it harder. Maybe they go for, instead of a group of maps, you got 5 event maps. Yeah, and you have to have 5 different fleets. Maybe. Probably. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm not giving any devs any ideas. I hope not. Congo's in orange. At least she can still attack and like carriers, though. At the same time, well, abyssal girls, when they're in orange, it feels like, sometimes even in red, it feels like they can still one-shot. While whenever we're in orange or orange, it feels like we're always practically disabled, except in night battle. At least, I mean, during the day, it feels like they can't do any damage. I mean, they can sometimes do a lot of damage, but it feels like, you lose a lot of power just by being orange. And it feels like it doesn't really affect this. Okay, that kind of contradicts what I just said, the damage the Congo did, but for the most part, it feels like it doesn't do a lot of damage. 166 HP. I'm thinking we might not get the kill here because Tone is in orange. Shirakaze dodges the hit. She has 40. She already took 2 damage earlier though, so it's not like I save any time. But 109 HP left. Ended up not sinking the boss that time. See, when I think that at that point I was thinking that I was still thinking that maybe by 10 kills and that the 9th kill leaves it with like a sliver of health. I was still thinking either that person was lying or it's something else. At this point I was thinking sliver of HP. Okay, this time spot the sub node. Get sent there. I press F5. Cause yeah. Then what's the point? That's done. Then at this point things going bad. North F5. At this point, just press the F5 when I go north. North again? Yeah. And then that time battleship wasn't even a red T, wasn't even green. Wasn't even like the normal engagement. It's like the one that's like less damage than 100%. It's like between red and normal. At least when the boss on the 15 sortie. So yeah, you can see here things are starting to go bad for me. I start getting annoyed by how many times I get north route in a row. It's more psychological impact. If let's say out of 10 things, let's say you have a bag of 10 marbles, and there are 5 red and 5 green. Now, the emotional impact of pulling 5 reds out at a time, in a row, it's probably bigger than pulling out like green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red. Now let's pretend instead of bag of marbles that was a bag of infinite marbles, and it's always 50% red, 50% green, and you end up rolling that 50. It's like flipping a coin. I guess, yeah, flipping a coin is a better analogy, I guess, for that. And having the things roll, it's like getting tails 5 times in a row when you want heads. You know, gets you mad. Doesn't matter if you know, roll a bunch of heads later on, or overall you roll like an equal amount of heads. It's just that you rolled a bunch of tails in a row that you makes you mad. Yeah, we're just pretty much hitting the boss right now. He's orange. Now double attack, which makes it mad. Double attack is nice. Already wants a double attack. Now here I am thinking that health points now looks like it's less than full health. Here I am thinking that, you know, maybe the next one will be the last one. In fact, I was actually mostly sure that the next sync will be the last one, because I haven't actually kept count how many syncings I had this time, but at that point in my head I was thinking I've done 9. I've sunk the boss successfully. Let's see. How many times did I'm trying to remember, but I was fairly certain that that was be the second last time I had to kill the boss. But you saw the health bar, right? Looked like there's less than 1 sync left. I was thinking to myself, I've gotten what? I'm fairly certain it was like, oh yeah, and here it's muted because I forgot to unmute my mic. Because at that point, I just finished, you know, streaming the FFS event. I had my mic unmuted for the purpose of the stream. Here, you know, things go well. I was thinking, this is it. That's the end, right? That's what I'm thinking. Looking at health for, looks like less than 1 kill. Things are certainly can go right. Nothing can possibly go wrong. We got this, mate. Surely, hopefully. Here's our air raid. But at this point, I was also confused as well, though, because I was thinking, you know, I was expecting, you know, fleet composition to change. I was expecting, you know, final sync to change, right? Because she does. Here, tone gets put into red, which, you know, sucks. So as you can see, our tone's in red. So what do you expect? Even if this was the final kill, I would have found out. I would assume it's not the final kill, no, because she didn't change. Because yeah, that red tone might be rage. And here it's like, come on guys, get on my battleships, do some double attack, and like, oh shit, carrier orange can't attack anymore. Life is hard. But then, you know, Congo gets a double attack, this is gonna come out of damage. You guys just gotta keep hitting the 15 damage, that fucking sucks. Fucking lost. Misses too. Never good. I was thinking get her in orange so she can't. So yeah, now she's in orange, she can't attack us. I was thinking, come on. You can do this, right? I'm thinking, you know, surely. But you know, it probably wasn't the last kill anyways, and I was like, ah, should not double attack. And then here it gets a double attack. Here, like, I go to Night Battle because, you know, just hoping, I mean, she's red health. You know, maybe my destroyers can do something for once. We got flares out as well. Our Night Scout's doing shit. I don't even know if this was gonna get the kill anyways. In hindsight, I'm thinking this probably wasn't the final kill anyways. But you know, you can't, you know, in this heated moments, you can't really make any, you know, decisions that are, you can't really think straight, you know. Come on, look so close. Looked like it. I was told that the 9th kill leaves it with a sliver of health. Cause that's what I remember reading, that the second last kill leaves it with a sliver of health, and at this point I was thinking, sliver of health? Sliver of health, if let's say you 9th kill, leaves a sliver of health, that means total HP is like 9.1 kills, right? I already mentioned this before, so I don't have to reread it, but you know, thinking, you know, maybe. It's maybe, but now, yeah. I could have also miscounted, but yeah. Yeah, drops don't care, I'm just mad, I just want to get this over with. Fuck you, Mogami, is pretty much what I'm saying at this point. Here the boss again in a row, I'm like thinking right now, Oh yes, we got it this time. We know it's the last one for certain this time. This time, you know, we actually see our final form. The true final form. I'm like, I actually haven't really. I'll be honest. This time I haven't. This actually caught me by surprise, to be honest, because and if the other boss, I probably should have expected it, because the other bosses were the new bosses, I guess, that have their own. They transform. E2 Northern team changes on the last kill. The carrier changes appearances between E3 and E5. I don't remember if she changed it for the last kill, but maybe. Here I'm thinking, alright, Tone's gonna get hit in the night, right? I mean, they get one put in the ready for the day, right? Things are certain to go well. We can get full, fall left torpedoes as well. Sink out as many of these, worthless, and I'm thinking, yeah, one of them can't fire a torpedo at me. Here, this one's kind of wasn't that good. We only sunk what, 3 of them. It's like thinking, oh right, my carrier is only in yellow. They can launch aircraft. But I think actually Soryu may have actually lost all her torpedo bombers. Very sure she doesn't ever attack. Oh yeah, she did lose all her torpedo bombers. And here you did attack twice. At this point, I wasn't paying much attention. I was like, didn't Soryu attack? And so, but yeah, she ran out of torpedo bombers, as you saw there. Here we did a lot of damage. I'm thinking, oh shit, 309 HP. This could go bad, but then I remember seeing Tone do 200 damage in one attack once. Maybe she can do double 200. I was thinking, even Sendai could potentially take it down to 200 HP total, which, I'm thinking, we got this, mate. Clutch, right? Clutch plays. Carry me to victory. Sendai does some damage. I was thinking, alright, that should be, theoretically, the destroy if they can take out like approximately 10 HP each time. Thinking, they got this, right? Got this. I'm thinking 32 damage, that's a lot. 25, that's a lot. Miss? That's not a lot at all. Double miss? Shit, that's like crash damage. Fuck my life. Then I took out my gun and posted on JP BRB against Tokyo. So now. But clearly if I actually did that, I wouldn't be here right now. But that I did put that in my notes on when I failed E4. But yeah, here I'm just raging, yelling my head off. Okay, not yelling my head off. My rage, I usually try to keep it quiet, contained. I try to keep it buried in my head. I try to contain the rage. I get the feeling that's not good for health though, or stress. Yeah, get sent north again. I tried the sub route. I tried trying to sub out the sub once, that didn't work. But here we go. Sortie number 2, 22. This is it, boys. Yeah, you know what it means when I'm showing a full sortie already, but you should know this by now. This is already the 4th time I've done this. So here we go. First node. I probably didn't have to show this actually. At least the first node. Because, first node's the most... In fact, yeah. Probably any node, probably the pre-boss node and the boss node is probably the most only important nodes to show, because these air nodes, I mean, they have never done anything to me at all that's worth actually showing. I guess watching my girls slide out and fire their guns in the air, it's entertaining. I still want to know how many times. Still would like to want to know how many aircraft I actually shot under those guns. Doesn't feel like a lot. But damn. You know what is the unsung hero of the combined fleet? The ferry pilots. Everybody always, nobody wants, their ships to sink, the ship girls to die. But what about the ferry pilots? You know how many of them died on this event alone? I don't know. We don't keep Kant. Nobody cares about them. But they're the one who keeps the air. They're the ones who control the air for us. They're the one who gives our battleships double attacks during the day. They're the ones who prevents them from getting double attacks against us during the day. They're the ones who prevent, their bombers from like killing all of us to red. They're the unsung heroes. They're the ones who will fly into the danger zone. To fight the Abyss aircraft. And their aircraft got upgraded heavily while we're still using all aircraft. Haven't really got any change in a while. But yeah, I mean they're pretty much the unsung heroes. They're the unsung heroes. They never get the credits. A bomber sinks a carrier or a battleship. Who gets the credit? The carrier who launched the aircraft. I mean, maybe I guess that's right, but it would be nice if pilots, they deserve recognition. I mean, maybe fairies come back. Maybe fairies are like total fairies. We don't know that. Maybe they die permanently. No? Fairies are like the unsung heroes. They don't even get any memorials. They get nothing. They die in droves. Like, probably thousands is probably an understatement of how many died in total throughout, this entire war. Let's see, I mean, let's think about this. Our standard carriers, I'm fairly sure they can hold a lot more aircraft than their real life counterparts. Let's see, let's say each standard. Let's go by Shokaku and Sukaku. They got pretty much 24 times 3 plus 12, I think. 24 times 3, that's like 72. 72 plus 12, that's 84. Them system alone have 84 aircraft. Let's say let's pretend all of our carriers right now have the same components. But okay, we know it's higher than 84 times 4. I mean, and Kaga even has more aircraft. So yeah, that's a lot of pilots. Even 84 times 4. I can't even do the math right now. See, 84 times 4. I got a calculator right now. I could calculate. Okay, I'm not even gonna calculate. It's probably more than 300. I think it's safe to say it's more than 300 pilots in the sky in every fight. We lose a fair number of superiority. We have to sink the boss 10 times. But yes, you can see here, we're all doing Strike 22. A number of aircraft gets shot on the first nail. That's already a number of pilots dead every time. Every time. I mean, and each midway fight, each one takes a lot of bucks, like 500 bucks, say, on each sortie. Just, pure cost. We're not calculating, no calculations on, combat, like how much you gain back. So just pure loss. That's 500 bucks, say, worth of aircraft, which means 500 bucks worth of ferries. Here I will at the boss now. I don't need to talk about that anymore. Ferries are, always pilots get no recognition, but hey, they're unsung doesn't mean they're not doing their job. They're doing their job more feverishly than probably anyone else. I mean, think about it. Oh yeah, see, torpedo. Oh yeah, I was supposed to forget to mention that. After that level, I was thinking support because I was mad. But in reality, that doesn't matter. Okay, it does matter. She cannot show. I mean, Sendai does more damage than double attack, and Knight did not destroyers do it. You get my point. It's all tone, and we all know that if she got double crit, she would have sunk the boss, which made a support fleet, in hindsight, a waste of resources. Konga takes out that thing, takes a hit for us, but at least the carriers don't get hit, which is pretty much the best thing I can ask for. Terry gets a double attack, which is great. Oh yeah, not to mention the support fleet did absolutely nothing relative to damage. But they did like nothing. I was expecting to sink at least, two maybe hope even 1 would have been fine. But yeah, so I was hoping here, 27 damage, but nope, miss. Congo's in red, which is actually, not what I want. Nobody wants their battleship in red. That's a lot of damage that's pretty much lost. But here, every aircraft still has like at least 1 torpedo bomber. Here we go, night battle. Yeah, Sun. This is what you wanted, Sendai. 211 HP. Tone alone could potentially do that much damage. We know she can. Even though she did scratch damage 1 time. That one time she did scratch damage ended up costing probably a lot of resources. Here, it's all on Tone. Will she do scratch damage or will she not? Let's see. She does 208 damage, 250 something damage. Yeah. Tone. Why couldn't you have done that last time? That's all I have to say to you. You're still the MVP, but that doesn't, mean you did your best. Just because you're the most valuable, you have more, I guess maybe I expect too much from you or something. Maybe I just expect too much. Yeah. Maybe the rage I had was unwarranted. I think it's warranted because, compared to, E6, you would expect that, you would expect to fail. Okay, maybe saying you expect to fail is wrong, but, come on, E6, what the E6 final kill. What do we expect by now? We expect Tommy to shoot the wrong one. That's what we expect by now. We expect to be stuck there forever on the final kill for like 100 more sorties. But the E4? E4? That's not what we expect. We ended up using 7,697 fuel. That's not that bad, I guess. In hindsight, the resource consumption wasn't that bad as I thought. I did use more buckets than I really wanted to. I did regain a lot of buckets between E3 and E4 because I was up to like, at one point I went back to like 860 something buckets, which I think is more than I ever had in the first place. But 51 buckets, I really don't want to use that much buckets. I don't know why. I have a lot of buckets. I don't want to use them though. Probably still still traumatized by the fall E4. I lost because I ran out of buckets. I also failed to couldn't rank in the top 500 because I ran out of buckets. And they released 5-4 on that same month too. But yeah, this was E4. E5 is next. But then after that, well, after E5, it's time to go to hell and hopefully back. See you guys then, and good night.